In the presidential election held in March, Vladimir Putin was re-elected as the president of Russia, receiving 87% of the vote, marking the commencement of his fifth term. This event offers a pivotal moment to delve into the history of Russia's leadership and explore Putin's political trajectory. Russia's head of the state in history. Russia was originally ruled by a king called a Tsar in the Slavic language. But the damage from World War I led to a revolution, and the Soviet Union was created in 1917. The Soviet Union was the first socialist country, and the leader of the Communist Party, the General Secretary, was essentially the country's leader. Vladimir Lenin and Iosif Stalin are examples, and they all ruled the country until their death. Mikhail Gorbachev, the last leader of the Soviet Union, called for reforms of the Soviet Union, but eventually, the nation collapsed with that of communist countries in the late 1980s. After the collapse, Boris Yeltsin, who led the country's collapse, became the leader of Russia. While Yeltsin led the Soviet Union to democracy, he was unqualified as a leader, as he couldn't revive the country's decaying economy. In 1999, he stepped down as president and left Russia in the hands of Putin, who was then prime minister. After that, Putin won the 2000 presidential election. Who is Putin? Born in St. Petersburg in 1952, Putin was an intelligence officer for the KGB, the Soviet Union's intelligence agency, the equivalent of Korea's National Intelligence Service. He became a politician after the collapse of the Soviet Union and eventually a president. After his election, the price of oil and natural gas in Russia more than quadrupled, improving the country's trade balance. Russians perceived him as a competent president as opposed to incompetent Yeltsin. Putin's strong leadership earned him much support and the moniker of Russia's new Tsar. With such overwhelming support, Putin subdued with special forces the Chechenian terrorists, who seized an opera theater in Moscow to claim independence from Russia, and he moved on to confront the United States. He also changed the presidential term from 4 to 6 years during his tenure as the prime minister and removed the limit on the number of terms once he became president. Vladimir Putin's standing in the global arena is subject to wide-ranging perspectives. In 2014, he led the forceful annexation of the Crimea Peninsula from Ukraine, and in 2022, he escalated to a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Putin justifies these actions as measures to safeguard Russians in Ukraine from the encroachment of NATO, led primarily by the U.S. and its Western allies. However, these moves have drawn criticism for imposing Russian dominance through military force. Amidst these developments, Russia faces growing isolation on the international stage. It will be crucial to monitor how Putin navigates these challenges moving forward.